Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the today's Restaurant Networking Group. Today is February 13th. My name is Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant, and we are a group of vendors who are here to help each other grow our businesses and to help any restaurant owner, manager, or chef who may have a problem or a concern that they need help with. And that's why we're here. We're here to help. And if you'd like to give us a call to come to a meeting or submit a question, give us a call at 561 620 8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com. And good morning, everybody. We have a guest here this morning. Michael Smith is here for the first time. So I'm going to ask Michael to fill us in as to who he is, what he does, where he's located, and how we can reach you. And we do that so that people who may see us on YouTube can also contact you.
Great. Hi, everybody. My name's Mike Smith. I am in Jacksonville, Florida, way north of most of you folks. When I'm on the 95, I get behind a big 18-wheel truck and just go real slow. So I enjoyed that story. Happy to be participating in the group this morning. I recently joined a global consulting firm called ERA Group, like your ear. M. Smith at eragroup.com, ERA. Expense reduction analyst is our business. I'm going to tell you what we don't do. If you're familiar with folks in the group like Bill at Wise Energy or Kevin at Strategic Solutions, those folks consult on food strategy as well as energy on your operating expense for an established restaurant. We do consulting on expenses on everything else. So my interest in joining the group and being a part of this today is kind of share what we're doing. I'm obviously respectful of everybody's relationships and we want to keep those in place. But where we are most effective, globally, we're in 60 countries. We have 1,000 consultants that primarily market to middle market companies. Here in North Florida, our clients are Wounded Warrior, BAE Systems, Lift Power, Jacksonville Symphony, Gunster Law, folks like that, where we're helping them negotiate expenses across the board, depending on kind of where the tooth hurts. My interest in joining this group was middle market is a saturated market in restaurant categories. We can help restaurant groups, hospitality, food services groups with revenues as low as $1 million, where our typical client is about $50 million. So in $1 million to $5 million established restaurant groups, where we can add value to your network is things like upgrading merchant card relationships. So the restaurant groups that's outgrown the toast and all that respectfully. Evaluating those fees. Waste. We have 20 or 30 RFPs and evaluations going on in waste at any given time. Janitorial, the spend folks are doing for that. Insurance, property casualty, even some benefit insurance, although that's kind of hard. Facilities I mentioned, all those sort of things that are on the operating expense of a CFO of owner of a restaurant, where they're so focused on working with Kevin on the 30% or 40% of their operating expenses, which is food. They don't have the time, resources, or expertise to negotiate and really understand how to get a better deal on things like merchant cards. So we are buyers for hire. We sit on our client side of the table. We're going to help them evaluate the fees, contracts, and get a better deal. 85% of the time, 70, 85% of the time, we end up with the same vendor, only at better pricing. Okay. We are a contingency consulting firm. We make money on the money we save. So we'll go in and shake the couch and find the pennies and nickels and get our share from there. So the message is, we're global. We've been here in Florida and the Southeast for years. You probably don't know us because we're typically higher market. I want to be focusing on this underserved market. I believe complimenting the good members of the group on things that they don't do. We don't do energy. We have people that do broadline food, but for this conversation, I'm taking a pair of scissors and cutting that out to be respectful of the relationships you have with Kevin. And that's the story. So it's Michael Smith, M. Smith at A with a little circle around it, eragroup.com, ERA group.com.
And how do we reach you?
The email I just shared, phone number 904-710-6899. So email, phone, smoke signals, you name it. I'll come and help out your clients.
Great. Wow, good.
Okay, so just so I understand, are you like a PEO? Is that what they call a PEO?
You're thinking of what's called a GPO. A GPO is an entity that goes out and strikes deals with US Food and Cisco and all those, does a markup, and then takes it to the buyers and say, hey, you can have one-stop shopping with me. We are for folks that we work with GPOs quite a bit, but we'll reevaluate every single category. So a GPO is going to set the ceiling on what you pay. We test that and find the floor. And we typically find double-digit savings. And when you talk about $1 million, $5, $10 million restaurant group, and we certainly go higher than that, those areas where they just assume the GPO is giving them the best deal. If we can free up some dollars, it goes straight to EBITDA, straight to profit, straight to growth and jobs. So we work nicely with the GPOs as well, I think is to answer your question.
Okay, well, welcome today. Anybody have any questions for Michael at this point? All right, so
Very well.
I think it's only fair that we do our intro so you'll know exactly who we are. And so I'm going to ask Steve to start us off.
Hello. So my name is Steven Fuentes. I'm vice president of the Shark team. We are business brokers, but we're also business appraisers. So if anybody is looking to buy a business, sell a business, we can do any size business. What makes us different is we have a 96% close rate while the industry has a 20 to 30% close rate. And the way that we do that is by essentially being able to appraise the business compared to what other people do, which is they just throw a random number, which they call a multiple, which is an average. It's not what your business is actually worth. We actually do an appraisal, and that's how we can maintain our transaction close rate. So if you are interested in reaching out to me, my phone number is 407-547-6996. And my email is Steven, Steven, @sharkteam.com.
Michael, you don't have to write all this down. At the end of the meeting, Howard
Okay.
I told him.
I'm sorry.
Yes, dear.
He forgot.
Granted, trying to write down.
That's okay. You write notes.
14 years at school.
Howard didn't mention that. He usually does, but okay. Everything will be ready to come to you after with all the info on everyone. Okay.
Go ahead and say it. Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
Let's go to Jessica.
Good morning, everybody.
Now
let me know if you can hear me or can't, because I was having I think my computer's getting full. I'm running out of memory, so my video calls aren't going through very well.
No, we can't hear you about your
You're
computer.
fine.
You should call Spectrum, get better internet.
It's not a Spectrum issue, though. I promise it's an overworked issue with my poor computer. Okay, so I'm a local rep for Spectrum Business. We are a nationwide and local internet, TV, phone, and cell phone company. I'm based out of Central Florida, although I can help customers throughout the nation as long as it's a Spectrum area. So my focus is new business, looking for people that need help setting up their internet, or TV, mobile, all of those things, and they don't want to have to deal with the 800 number, they can call me. I've been with the company for 18 years as of last Wednesday. So I have very much knowledge within the company of all aspects. If anybody needs help with anything Spectrum related, I'm willing to help. But again, my main source of income for Spectrum is selling new business. So I look forward to continuing to get to know all of you. I can be reached at my email, jessica.kirby@charter.com, and my phone number is area code 813-326-2246. I am going to have to jump off a little early today, unfortunately. I have a call that starts at 9:30 with my director. So thank you for calling on me early because I'm going to have to jump off here in about 10 minutes.
No problem. Thank you. Nick, good morning.
Morning. Morning, everybody. Nick DeSantis. I'm with Brown & Brown Insurance. We're a national worldwide insurance retail agency. We own several companies that are insurance related, publicly traded. And I'm a commercial property and casualty agent, so I do everything on the commercial side. I do specialize in hospitality and restaurants, preferably multi-unit, each unit being, say, 50 employees or more. But I like to look at everything. We do everything from the start to the finish. As far as like when a restaurant is being built, we do builder's risk, general liability. We get in, we like to start off at the groundbreaking phase and follow through with all their insurance needs, from delivering food to fine dining to, franchises. I like to work on a lot of franchises. Any restaurant's a good lead for me. Hotels, hospitality. Looking at a few different industries now too. Brian and I are going to attend a show, and that's a newer market. But we're generalists. We can do everything. If it's new or if a client has a problem with their insurance, that would be best leads for me. Nick DeSantis, Brown & Brown. It's nicholas.desantis@bbrown.com. And my cell is 386-299-9540. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. Kurt, good morning.
Good morning, Ed. My name is Kurt Hayden. I'm with Spot On. We're a restaurant technology company, everything under one roof as far as point of sale, credit card processing, helping you with your online ordering, your website, literally a one-stop shop. I service the Central Florida area, but I can go anywhere as well, just like Jessica. But yeah, looking forward. My ideal lead is like new restaurants, but I can go into any existing restaurants if they're unhappy with how much they're paying, their dealer, their technology company, etc. But yeah, you can reach me at kurt.hayden@spoton.com, and my phone number is 727-667-3825, and always happy to be here.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Brian. Good morning.
You're muted, Brian.
Yeah, I know. Let's try to get to work. It's been a long week. Again, good morning, everybody. I'm Brian. I'm with a company called Rogue Financial Group. Rogue's been around probably about 10 years as part of another company out of Miami, here in Atlanta. What Rogue does is we are a commercial equipment financing company. And I help the end user, but also work with dealers that maybe want to offer financing to their clients. It could be a small project, large project, some startups, things like that. Typically, all different types of equipment I can finance. Primarily in the hospitality side, restaurants, and as Nick mentioned, and Ed will be there too. We're going to this petroleum show in Myrtle Beach. I do a lot of work with convenience stores, things like that. Work all over the country. I'm Brian with Rogue Financial Group. I can be reached at 404-723-7222. Thanks.
Okay, Ed, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ed Gerton with Seco Sales out of lovely Orange Park, Florida, which is just west of Jacksonville. Right? Yep. We got Kurt in Jacksonville too. So there's three of us from Jacksonville here. No, Kurt, you're not from Jacksonville. Sorry about that. Anyway, Seacoast Sales, we're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we have soft serve ice cream machines from Carpigiani. We have batch freezers from BGI and Carpigiani. We have display cases from ISA, GTI Designs and IFI. We have blast freezers, hardening cabinets. We have frozen drink machines from V-Air. Anything to do with desserts we can supply. You can reach me at 904-334-4489 and have a good day.
Thank you. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Kaufman, Restaurant All-Stars. We provide all-star talent for restaurant companies. We are currently working on a sous chef opportunity over there in beautiful Hilton Head, South Carolina. And we'll be working on a operations director position along the Treasure Coast of Florida. And yeah, it's been a very interesting week. I don't know much about GPOs, but I do know I've met a few SOBs. And not that I really want to complain, but I've got some time. So every company has a different culture, whether it's a major New York Stock Exchange company or whether it's an independent with just a couple of restaurants or a one-off situation. There's a culture. And one of the responsibilities that I feel I have for the client company is to bring them a culture fit. And that goes without saying that the technical skills of understanding food cost and labor cost and training and developing people will be in play, but also getting an understanding of how they treat people. I was at a client's restaurant as a customer, and the general manager came by. I introduced myself because I've worked with his boss, and he gave me 8, maybe 9 seconds of his time. And then I went with another client company of mine. The president of the company came by. He gave me an hour of his time, sat down, talked about the market, talked about what are people looking for in their careers nowadays versus, say, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And I can give him that frame of reference because I've been on the field of play all during those decades of experience. So we work on behalf of the client companies to bring them a culture fit and bring them a player who's going to be an immediate and long-term asset. Restaurant All-Stars, conveniently reached at 404-255-7827. You don't even have to look at your phone. It's 404 All-Star, ALLSTAR. And we are available 24/7, 365, including Super Bowl Sunday, which Howard can validate that I bet $250,000 on the Seahawks this past weekend. Is that right, Howard?
That's right.
Remember the email? Okay. Now, what makes that a qualifying statement is that after I said $250,000, I put the word metaphorically in the email. So, but we knew those frauds from New England to be exposed. In any case, onward and upward. Chris Kaufman, 404 All-Star. Come back to see us.
I turned it off when the Seahawks scored their 19th point, and I said, Chris is going to be happy.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, let's go to TRN Terry.
Hello, everyone. Welcome,
Hello.
my group. Glad to see everyone back. What I do with my team is probably the most important thing that we could possibly do other than what Howard does, and that's provide a monthly lead report that's second to none anywhere in the industry. And we basically guarantee that. We provide it in an Excel spreadsheet coming out in the first week of the month, every month for a year. And we get signups. We have major companies and food service places that advertise, that take the leads religiously year after year after year. The Florida Restaurant Association signs up to renew before their subscription is even over. They get a lot of new members from this report. We give you the owners' names, phone numbers, email addresses, address of the new establishment coming into the state or rebuilding or building a new place. We tell you how many locations they have, a ton of information in that little center area. And it's anywhere between 50, 55, all the way up to 90 brand new leads every single month. That is, we've been doing it probably like 8 or 9 years now. And we have people that email us all the time to find out when their subscription's over, because once it's over, they're no longer grandfathered in. They have to pay the full price. So whatever they paid when they started, that is what they pay, except for the cost of living and the cost of raising and paying people that we have to, do to maintain these reports. They are massive. They are very, there's a lot of information. We give you the opening dates about when they're going to open. A lot of them are two years out, just signing a lease, just breaking ground on a major shopping center, anywhere from the Florida Panhandle down to Key West. So we have a lot of resources. And that's what I do. If anybody wants a sample report without the email addresses, go on to trnusa.com/leads. And yes, Michael, you could write that down if you want. That won't be on the report that he gives you. And you can see a live report right there. Just click on that link. So happy to answer any questions. You can email me, Terry@trnusa.com. And happy Friday the 13th. It's always been my lucky day. So, and I'm blessed to be here. I'm glad that another day full of sun down here while people are freezing to death everywhere else. We're very lucky. Have a good weekend. Oh, have a good Valentine's Day.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. They used to call it VD Day, but I wouldn't.
VDD.
Yeah.
That's the Villages.
I can't.
Next year, the Super Bowl will be on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, you're right.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
There's going to be a lot of people asking for a divorce on the 15th next year.
Who's going to be the entertainment?
I don't even want to guess after this year's Super Bowl.
Johnny Mathis can't do it. He's not well. Let's see. All right, Michael, before I give my intro, I want to double back to you. Now that you've seen what the group does, you want to add anything or change anything or ask any questions?
I'm excited to learn about everybody. Sort of my takeaway is, we really are someone to think about for more established entities. Again, 1 million, 5, 10 million chains and things like that. There's really not much we can do, where a lot of people I've listened to this morning are spending their time, which is kind of startups, newer restaurants. But beyond that, again, I want to be respectful of everybody's relationship. I think we can complement a lot of what you do. And again, we're happy to take a look at anybody, because it's a no cost strategy. It sure can't hurt to get an independent third-party look at your overall expenses. I am certainly open to revenue sharing on introductions. I'm not sure if that's something that folks do, Howard, but really appreciate the opportunity. And I will end with this. I did read, Howard, a chapter of your book. I'm coming back into the workplace after raising 4 little kids. I got married in life. I got 4 kids right now. I'm 60 years old, 6, 8, 10, and 15. And so I was belly to belly with them for 10 years, and it was great. But now it's time to get back to work. But the 2 things I took from your book, Howard, were the myth of common sense and being hyper-focused on task lists. So I took that and I'm going to apply it to how I manage my kids. Thanks, everybody.
Wow.
Welcome aboard.
Are we doing good in welfare if anybody needs any?
As soon as I'm finished. Let me just, if you want to run the meeting, you're perfectly welcome to do it. Would you like to run the rest
Oh
of the
my
meeting?
Howard,
No.
Howard, yes, dear. Come on, calm down,
That's the
calm down,
hard
calm
part.
down.
Want to do it?
Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Their new name is Ozzy and Harriet.
Oh, Ozzy, okay.
It could be Ozzy and Sharon.
It's gonna be Sonny and Cher soon. Calm down.
Sonny and Cher.
Yeah, he gets all riled up. I like to rile him up in the meetings.
That's what wives are for.
In any event, I want to just bring something to light.
Are you speechless, Howard? Are you speechless now?
I'm gonna.
Oh
For those of you who don't know, I'm Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant, and we've been publishing since 1996. And what we offer is advertising in our newspaper, email blast programs, Terry's new openings, and of course on our networking groups. And we are going, I recently have made a connection, and we're going to be getting involved in AI in a particular way, which I'll let you know perhaps next week. I'll give you the rundown. I think it's very interesting. It could be very helpful for everybody. But I would like to mention that if anybody wants to reach us or get a subscription to the newspaper, there's no charge for the subscription for the newspaper. So what you have to do is go to our website, trnusa.com, and go to the subscribe page and fill out the form. It's very quick. What's happening in the world now, Google, Kurt, you may know more about this than I do, and Nick brought this to my attention during the week. Google and Outlook and those email address, there's a block on sending bulk emails by Gmail. I feel like for Gmail. You know about this, Michael?
I haven't heard anything about it. But I mean, unless you subscribe to like specific software, they're not going to let you do any email blasts or anything like that. So, I mean, it makes sense. You have to pay for like premium subscription in order to do that.
And
well,
of course,
they allow it, but let me give you an example of what's happening with us. Let's say I send out 100 emails, for example. 50 may be immediately opened, and 50 may go and be opened by what they call a bot, B-O-T. And what that is sort of scrubbing those 50 to make sure there's no spam, not spam, but a virus or a spam. And then they put it back into I believe they put it back into the recipient's email so they can read it at a future date.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's skewing open rates, basically. I don't know if anybody's come in contact with that.
Yeah, I do some email marketing. And I mean, I track everything. So I see open rates, and then I see who actually clicks on my links, which is the other metric that I track. So, which, it's a little more accurate, but, even then,
Well, Nick sent me a report on my email to the groups, and so it set me on a path of finding out how to go around this. And I found that if you have bounces that are approach 5% or 6%, that puts you immediately in the group that gets put into a pot open. So you have to reduce your bounces, and that means that your list has to be clean. If somebody hasn't opened your email within the last 6 months, you got to get rid of them.
I wish my Yes Dear was here. Like my wife, she actually works for Valley Mail, and that's what they specialize in is email authentication protection, DMARC certification, SPF records, like all that. And I'm like, she tries to tell me about it, and I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. She'll come here and do a whole presentation for you on that stuff. But
Yeah, tell her to call me. I'd love to talk to her.
That would.
I'll send you her email.
So,
I don't think
what I want to tell people who may be watching, I do a lot of email blasts during the week. So, and sometimes people don't get them because email may be going into spam. So what I'm going to say today, if you have not received my email or have not been receiving it at all, to go to your spam folder. And if our email is in your spam folder, whitelist our email address. And if you don't know how to email,
call early.
All right. If you don't know how to whitelist an email address, get in touch with me, and I'll send you a one-page instruction list for different email protocols as to how to whitelist an address, and that helps the sender. I don't know. Does anybody have any other thoughts on that?
If I can, I played around with this space, and it's the Spectrum person got off, but I defer to Stephen, and your wife. But I was doing this for a while, and I had what's called a warming service. So I had a couple emails that I bought that were sort of close to the core one, but the warming service spent 2 or 3 weeks sending out emails to different ones that they controlled. So, you just can't blast it at the same time. But in this day and age, honestly, my understanding, and again, I'll defer to Stephen, is like every fifth or sixth email, you have to change something in the body of the email, or it's going to be going straight to spam.
Oh, yeah. So there's a few, I mean, and again, Kurt's wife may know way more than I do, but there's a few methods to avoid this. So I use a service called Woodpecker, and Woodpecker allows you to make specific edits within the email. So in other words, specific words will change with every single email that gets sent out, right? So like you list out the words. So like, for example, or phrases. Let's say that I write a sentence, and because I want to send it out to a bunch of people, I'm going to, switch out specific parts of the sentence a bunch of different times, right? And then the next sentence, I'll change specific words there, and then the next sentence I'll change specific words there, like the could now be something else, right? And then what that does is over the course of, all the messages that you send out, every time there's going to be a new combination, right? It's the same message in theory, right? It's the same copy of the message, but it's going to send out different versions because every single time, right, it's picking from one of these things. So if you have a lot of different changes to it, now it's a different email each time, right? So that's one way to get around that. The other thing is you really shouldn't be using your personal email to be doing email blasts. Like you can, that email is already warmed up, right? But the problem is that there's a reason why like when these companies send you like email blasts, it says like get something or use whatever their service is, right? That's the email or website that they're using. The reason they're using that is because that's specific to email marketing, right? Now, sometimes, it'll be their main website or whatever, but they do that so that every time that you send out an email, it could be coming from a different email. So like when I send out things, the main email that we have is sharkteam.com, but I have emails called sharkteam.co, shark whatever, like it's a bunch of different websites that are controlled specifically for the email blast, right? The problem with that is, it usually takes like 6 months to warm up an email, unless you use like a warming service or something like that. They usually expect you to have an email that has been alive for 6 months, right? So if you are going to do that, that's something to consider as well. You can't just turn it on and then everything's going to go straight into their inboxes. So, it's things like that, these companies try to avoid, the spam that they would get. And then, we have to find strategies to, give them the spam. So
Did you notice any difference in your open rate by doing that?
So I started reaching out to real estate agents, specifically because I build partnerships with real estate agents. And I was seeing a 60% open rate. And then out of that, I was seeing 50% that were actually like, clicking on my links, right? Now that didn't necessarily convert to sales. I'm still working on that specific landing page. And, like there's a lot of moving parts to it, right? Because you can get them to open an email. I'm very good at getting them to open the email, right? That's great. But then once they open the email, now I got to convince them to click on my links, right? And then, an email blast is you're essentially building a relationship with the client over the course of several emails, depending on how you do it, right? I'm not going to say that I'm great at that. I know in theory the process for everything, right? I've seen some minor success in it. I mean, the biggest success that I have is like face-to-face relationships, right? That's how I run the primary of my business. I'm still mastering email marketing. I haven't really touched it recently, just because I've had way more success, elsewhere. And so, I can't show you specifically how to do it well, but I can show you the tools and what you're supposed to like use to actually be able to, get people to use it, like open and that type of stuff. So that's the extent of my knowledge. I'm not an expert when it comes to sales copy or anything like that.
How many emails do you send out at one time?
So there's a limit per email address, and that's why you need several different email addresses. I limit it to 50 per day, if I recall correctly. I haven't touched it in a few months. I think the max you could do is 100 per email address, but if you're using your personal, you want to limit it to 50 because you're going to send emails from your personal email as well, right? So if you go above that range, now you're going straight to spam, or because they're noticing, hey, this email address has sent a heck of a lot of emails.
Hey, Steven,
Yeah,
When you're done.
go ahead.
I would definitely like shoot me your email or whatever, because my wife is sitting here like, oh, we could help him out so much.
Right.
Everything that you're talking about is what I do.
Okay,
And
sure.
my company can really help with your open rates and all that kind of stuff. We have a can't speak. We have a free platform that can give you at least a bunch of insights and data into what you're seeing. It helps with your email marketing. I'm assuming you use MailChimp or something similar to that.
Use
But yeah,
Woodpecker.
do what?
Woodpecker.
Okay, yeah. So like, similar kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
But if you send Kurt your email
Yeah,
and any of the domains that you own, I can shoot you an email. We can set up a call. I can, have
I'll shoot you.
people.
I'll put in the chat, Kurt.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, and anybody
Right.
else who is
For
having
Mrs.
similar
Mrs. Hayden.
Yeah.
Hi.
Mrs.
I use
Hayden.
Constant Contact, and I send out sometimes as many as 20,000 at a time.
Hmm.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, she
I've
could
got
definitely help.
readers all over the country.
Yeah, when she said Steven gets like a 60% open rate, she's like, oh, I could bump that up.
Yeah, that's
That's
garbage.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, I'll if you send me your contact, I'll get in contact with you.
Yeah, I got
That'd
you,
be
Steven.
Or you
interesting.
can at least send everyone my email, and
Yeah,
if they have
put your
questions, send
email
me.
address in the chat.
See, this is what
Well-
networking's all about.
There you go.
That's what it is.
That's
What,
exactly right. You can ask
what is
almost
the
any
website?
question, you can get an answer.
Kurt, what's the website for your wife's company?
It's valleymail.com, VALIMAIL. They were just recently acquired by Digicert also, and they're. You coming back over?
I guess I am. We also, and the company Digicert that acquired us does VMC, CMC certificates, so it helps with implementing BIMI, and BIMI can help increase your open rates, and it's just in general. Yeah, at valmail.com. Overall, email security and anything associated with that, and broader. But yeah,
Cool.
so yeah, then we can talk about all that stuff in a call.
That
Terrific.
worked. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'll be contacting you later.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll shoot you an email with her contact information and stuff so she can definitely help.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So Terry, you wanted to go ahead. Bring up what you wanted to bring up before.
I'm not doing that now.
Now you
I'll
No.
take my ball and go home.
say, is
That's right.
there anything here that you see what he does, you know?
I forgot what is it that you wanted to bring up before?
You got some splaining to do.
Wants and needs. Anybody have any wants and needs that they want to bring to the group besides the email blast?
Yeah.
Answer.
Well, actually, I have a question for Michael.
Not
I'm sorry?
I said I'm being recorded, so I'm not going to answer that, but go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Michael, so I'm an appraiser, right? And the thing that I'm always trying to do is, help my clients increase their value. So I guess I want to understand specifically, since you do pretty much everything when it comes to like cost reduction. Am I correct in assuming that?
Correct.
So I guess, and maybe we should, meet later on as well. But I guess my question is like when I'm advising clients, really like I'm, mostly comparing them to industry standards. When it comes to what you do, which is a little bit more advanced, right? So like for me, the way that I can send a lead, right? Like if I see that somebody's credit card costs are too, high. If it's a restaurant, I may, send them to Kurt or something like that. But when it comes to just all of, your, pricing strategy and everything like that, cost reduction, what is it that you look at specifically? And is it something that I could advise my clients to like refer to you, depending on like if I find specific things that I know like, hey, this is what I'm looking at. I know that if I send you to Michael, he's going to reduce your costs. Like what's like, how do you look at things specifically?
So it depends on the category, but we love working with business brokers and VC people because if we get some runway a couple cycles before a sale, we're able to free up meaningful cash that goes to EBITDA that increases the sale price. And what we advise our larger clients is, look, you're going to get bought by a venture capital firm or somebody like that. the first thing they're going to do is go to your OpEx stack and squeeze the heck out of it. If you did that 12, 14, 16 months before the transaction, that money would go to you. So
Mhm.
in a category like waste, for example, we work on quarter million and above kind of waste, 25,000 a month. And simply what we're doing there is reaching out to the existing vendor, negotiating better pricing based on our buying power. We place about $2 billion worth of business a year, finding things in the contract, things like that. So the first step is setting a baseline of what they're paying now. And then after we do our thing, that's the reduced price right there. And that's basically the model if it's janitorial, facilities, insurance, cards, what have you. It's like, where are you today? And then let us have a little chat with your vendors and see if we can negotiate that price. 70-80% of the time, we're staying with the established vendor and just getting you a better price.
Okay. So, and your ideal companies are companies that are more established, but let's say that I get a client and somebody's going for a sale, like we're trying to sell it immediately, right? Or like you need more run room than that. So like I'm gonna do an appraisal. I see, hey, this is what's going on. And I can tell them, hey, if you go and reduce costs, this is going to increase your valuation, which is a good selling point in and of itself. But how much time do you usually need, right? Because, business usually takes anywhere from 6 months to a year to sell.
Yeah.
Depending on the business category, if it's like lawn care, that's going to sell, in 30 days, right? But if it's, a restaurant, that takes a little bit longer. Anything, manufacturing, anything too specific, that takes longer. So how much time do you usually need to really do an analysis of everything and, start reducing? I guess just logistically speaking, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I got you. So it depends on the category.
Okay.
Merchant cards, and again, I want to stay in my lane. Merchant cards is 30 to 60 days. We're finding, tax-free, free cash flow coming back to the bottom line. Fleet is quite a bit longer. It's typically 3-4 months. And a lot of it is on the buyer side, getting them coordinated and what have you.
Mhm.
But 3, 4, 5 months is when we start seeing cash flow returning to the bottom line of our clients.
So this is more for companies that are going to sell within a year, not necessarily that we listed them immediately.
Correct, with the exception of cards and waste are a little bit quicker.
Okay, got it. Cool.
And
Thank you.
again, it really does work on more established. We're not looking for startups because there isn't a baseline to work from. There isn't
Yeah.
that I have 5 restaurants around Central Florida and North Florida with 5 different contracts for each waste management
Mhm.
company. Nobody's looked at it. We just did one. They were paying $1,500 a month, and we brought it down to 200.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't work with startups to begin with.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I can't sell a startup. A startup there's no business model that I can sell. It's not established. There's not enough money flowing through it. So
Right. All right.
yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay, before we end the meeting, could you all do me a favor? Just everybody look at the screen. I want to take a screenshot and I'm going to use it in my email. Nice going, Kurt.
Everybody pull up the fonts. Hey.
I like bonds.
Bond's hand signal. It's like, hey, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we come to the end of the meeting. Mike, thanks for coming. I hope you see the value of this
Mike.
and will become a member. And again, for those of you who are in the group, please reach out to your contacts in the industry and let them know about us and try to build the group with some new categories. So we would appreciate that. So have a great weekend. Have a great Valentine's Day. We'll see you next week, and let the sauce be with you.